Hello everybody and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to try to be figuring out, was Saturday night's main event a start of a new era? We know we've heard this narrative before. We've heard the new era stuff ever since WrestleMania 40 really, whenever Triple H was like, this is going to be a new era of pro wrestling, which it has. It's definitely progressed, but these weekly shows have not. I would say that the weekly shows are better than they obviously used to be a long time ago, like 2019 Monday Night Raw. Like, they're obviously completely better, but it's not what today's video is about. We're going to go through everything that happened at Saturday Night's main event. Pretty much a Saturday Night's main event review, but because I know I pretty much skipped out on it, I've been trying to figure out what I want to do with this page, whether it's interviews or just, interviews, reviews, everything like that. So let's get right into it. Cody Rhodes kicked off the show, defending his Undisputed Championship against Drew McIntyre. Interesting match. We know the Friday Night SmackDown the night before, we saw Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre have a contract signing where Drew refused to sign the title unless we had a new stipulation where Cody Rhodes could lose the title via disqualification or countout. So Nick Aldis made that official. Cody Rhodes can now in this match get counted out or disqualified as the champion, because Drew was afraid that Cody was going to count himself out. But everyone was expecting Cody Rhodes to turn heel. Now, I'm telling you now, do not think Cody Rhodes is going to turn heel in your life. Whenever you hear of a Cody Rhodes match that you think he's going to turn heel in, don't even think about it, because WWE is going to instantly change your mind and make you completely think you're dumb, because he's not turning heel. I'm not saying ever. I think he's at some point, maybe, but I mean, he's going to get the cheap pop every time. So as long as you want to sell tickets for an opening show like this, I think that it's the best to keep Cody face. But match right here was interesting. Started off very rough. I won't say that the in-ring style of this match was any good, because I wasn't really impressed by it. Cody had a weird botch at the start of this match. He was going for the Cody Cutter, which the ref got in the way. Cody would go for it anyway, and he would act like he tweaked his knee, and then they would go for it again, and his knee wouldn't be hurt at all. Pro wrestling. But weird botch to open up the match and make things a little bit awkward. Then it spiced up again. Drew threw Cody onto the announcer's table from the ring, which was insane. Cody broke the announcer's table, which I liked, but that was pretty crazy. And then to end the match, what I really wanted to talk about, which definitely does play into the Cody heel narrative even more, Drew would introduce the Undisputed Championship into the ring, which he was trying to get Cody disqualified. This whole entire match, he was just taunting Cody. And we ended up Cody. He would go for a DDT and land Drew right onto the title. Now, Michael Cole pointed this out. He said that what if Cody didn't know the title was there, which he literally looked down at it and was like, hey, let's put him right on this title. Very weird that Cole said that. I thought that wasn't a great thing to say if we are trying to turn him heel. So, it's all right. Obviously, Corey was like, hey, it was on purpose. He's turning heel. Just don't know how to feel about it. I think that Drew definitely should have won. I think we should have had more than 2 title changes on this show. 4 matches, by the way. I think there should have been way more matches than 4 on this. This was on Peacock. This isn't on NBC. This is not where we have commercials every 5 seconds. This is Peacock. So that means, there's rarely commercials. So it's just interesting, because I thought that Drew should have won this match between Cody. I thought it was a given. Drew's had so much hype. But now it's, what's next for Drew? We've hyped him up a good bit. He has been taking out everybody. He was supposed to have a feud with Jacob, and the only reason I could understand why he lost is because this was pretty much a filler match for him versus Jacob. So I think that him versus Jacob would have spewed out onto now, but obviously we know that there was a number 1 contender. Jacob got, murked backstage because he's injured, which is still unfortunate. I think that it's sad to see Jacob obviously returning and then just getting injured out of a non-wrestling injury. It always happens to the best people, I swear. But interesting right here. I thought that we definitely could have snuck an Ilya Dragunov open challenge into this, because yes, all of these matches right here was for a title, but Elias could have been as well. So, hot take or not, I'm gonna see y'all's opinion on that in the comments. I do think we could have snuck in an Ilya Dragunov defense in here, because I think he's going to be a dominant champion, and I think we do want to run up those defenses as much as we can because Eli's just a dominant champion, and he's going to stay that way. So I think we need to get him as many defenses as he can in the short reign that I hope that he has, because I hope that we have somebody in particular that's going to come back and take this title. But not gonna say who I think right now because I don't think it's coming up anytime soon. Y'all are going to look at me sideways if I say it. But right here, Cody defends the title, which, who's next? I think that now your literally only goal, your only next move, it has to be to turn Cody heel. This was the last person in Drew McIntyre that has the chance to beat Cody Rhodes as of right now on Friday Night SmackDown. This is the only person. But this was a good feud coming out of Crown Jewel. I know that we're weeks ahead of that, but Crown Jewel, Rollins defeated Cody clean. And now Cody's defeating Drew not clean. So, that's telling me, hey, Cody's needing to, he figured out that at Crown Jewel he can't win clean. So now he's using cheats to retain his title and to defend his title. So, definitely something that's going to play out. I'm excited to see where that goes. I think Cody's always been the guy that you just know he's eventually going to turn heel. But we know the work he can do as a heel. We know that he can easily flip a switch when he wants to and become heel, which is going to be a very good sight to see. But for now, very cool. Don't know how much I love the match. Don't know how much I love the finish, but I think this definitely was the weakest match of the night. We then saw Jade Cargill defeat Tiffany Stratton for the Women's Championship. I think that, yes, this is the right move, but looked at it today. Tiffany Stratton faced Nia Jax 11 times during this title reign. 11. And remember, Nia Jax is pretty much hot off of a return, hot off of coming back. And 11 defenses against Nia Jax, if you're Tiffany Stratton, is not good. You look at her defenses, and you can just clearly tell that creative ran out of ideas. And now they're main eventing Friday Night SmackDowns every week with a defense. I just hope they don't do the same thing with Jade Cargill. Obviously, Tiffany holding the championship a long time, defeating names Charlotte Flair, Nia Jax, Jade Cargill. There's been so many names she's knocked off to keep this title. But then Jade just comes in a one-on-one and knocks her off her block, which I think is great because that tells us that Jade's on a different level than she was at SummerSlam earlier this year. That tells us that Jade is better than Nia, and Nia's not going to stand a chance. So I think they're going to run with this for sure. So I think that what I just said should stick with y'all for sure because I feel like that's the narrative they're going to run with. Should be at least. I'd hope so. Because Jade has to be the person that's going to be so dominant, it's going to be hard to stop her. And I think that's what they should run for, but excited to see for sure. But the match was very good. The in-ring aspect I really liked. I know people are hating on it, which they hate on every Jade Cargill match, which I think is insane. They'll get on social media after a Tiffany Stratton Friday Night SmackDown match and they'll glaze it. Like, oh my gosh, this was so good. And to me, some of those that they're saying is super good, 5-star. To me, that didn't really look good, but there's some Tiffany Stratton matches that I was like, oh my gosh, this was a banger. Like the one between Jade and Tiffany on Friday Night SmackDown. Not the one where Jade got busted open with Nia, but just the singles match where Nia attacked them, whatever they got laid out at the barricade with the spear through the barricade from Jade. But I thought that match was so good, but everybody hated on it. So it just makes me so mad. Internet's getting weird. It's just getting weird. But loved Jade winning. I just think that they just need to do her right with her championship or else it's just going to go to waste. Dominic would defeat Penta and Rusev. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. Y'all know how I feel about it. I came into this match knowing for a fact that Penta was going to win, and that just did not happen. But it's okay. We're wasting a talent that is going to be here. This is my opinion. The most reliable WWE wrestler in WWE. Put him out there, he's going to have a great match every time. So, just annoying to see. They just completely sell Penta right here. I thought that it was the only right decision to put the title on Penta, but guess not. Don't know, man. Love Dominic, but it gets to a point. It really does. It gets to a point where this just gets so tiring, keeping up with Dominic and the Judgment Day. You're playing in our face every week on Monday Night Raw thinking that we're about to get a breakup of the Judgment Day, but we've also been doing this for the past 5 years. So, don't know. I mean, I think things are really going to shake up whenever Liv comes back, and that's definitely in the near future. But it's just the Dominic storyline to me is just getting stale. I know people are fiending for it right now. Just to me, I just don't think that it's that interesting. I don't think it's as interesting as people are like hyping it up to be. But I just think Penta should have won. But it's also burying Rusev and Penta. But it's all right, bro. It's whatever. Dominic is a generational champion. But at the same time, we all thought the plan was to put the Mega Championship on Dominic, have him present that on WWE TV, and have him lose the IC title to AJ or Penta. And that's just not the case. So that's it. That's very annoying. But the rivalry between Dominic and AJ is still going on. So maybe we get double belts AJ for like a retirement tour without it actually being announced, which I think would be really cool. And the main event, which is the match that is getting the most heat coming out of Saturday night's main event, and that is CM Punk defeating Jey Uso to become the new World Heavyweight Champion after, obviously, Seth Rollins had relinquished that title and Braun Breaker was stalking it. Now, why this is getting heat, why every Jey Uso match gets heat, is because of Jey Uso's in-ring abilities. This is getting out of hand. I get it. This match right here was not the brightest tool in the shed at all. This was not a match I'd go back and like really inspect and rewatch. I'd put it on the TV and clean or something, but I ain't sitting down and watching this match all the way through. This is just a match I ain't proud of. And CM Punk even said it. He said this is the worst match he's had since returning. And we all got to agree, to be honest. This match was horrible. I'm not saying that this is the worst match I've ever seen in my life. I'm just saying that it was not good for a new champion that was going to be crowned. Now, there's going to be some fan of either one of these wrestlers, CM Punk or Jey Uso, which I'm a valid fan of both of them, but this match was just not good, you know? CM Punk obviously winning, which is a decision that I don't know how much I like. We built up Jey so much. We built up the feud between Roman and Jimmy and Jey just for them to not do anything with it, which there is still time for them to build that up on Monday Night Raw. But the main thing that had me really upset is why didn't we have Braun, Bronson, and Paul interrupted in this match? That just gets on my nerves a lot because Braun was the one holding up the title at the end of the day, wanting a shot at this title, and they gave it to Punk and Jey. So, I don't know. I think that that's just the decision that WWE shouldn't have done in the end. And now they're just messing with everybody's brains. But interesting. Still think at the end of the day, Roman, Braun, Bronson, they should have all gotten involved. But I am glad that both Jade and Punk got to celebrate being the new champions without any interruptions because I definitely thought that Jade was going to attack, or Nia was going to attack Jade. And I also thought that Braun was going to attack Punk. But neither of those things happened. So, the end of the day, really excited on happy on how the show turned out. I'm glad how the endings turned out, except for obviously Cody and Drew and Dominic defeating Penta and Rusev. But besides that, the show was really good. I thought that it was all right. Don't like how long it lasted. It ended at like 9 p.m. So definitely think we could have put another match on here, or a few, honestly. 4 matches is probably one of the lowest we've seen on a technical PLE, which I don't consider this a PLE. I consider this a what do we compare this to? I honestly say we compare this to like a homecoming night or something like that, where you're just putting title matches, but it isn't really a PLE. I think that's the right comparison, is a homecoming night to Saturday night's main event. That's actually a perfect one, to be honest. But hope y'all enjoyed this video. Hope y'all enjoyed my thoughts. No, it was a little bit more laid back, but that's kind of what we're going to be getting on these reviews. So I'm just going to be just talking about it, not having any, hype about it unless it's a super crazy thing to happen. But this show was, hate to say it, nothing too much to be excited about. But hope y'all boys enjoy. We got daily, daily. No, I can't do daily. But weekly interviews coming every week. I know we skipped out on 2 weeks, and that is because I was unfortunately out of town and sick. So, double trouble. Anywho, we skipped out on 2 weeks. We got Milo Mira, which is already posted on the page. Go check that out. And we also got a lot of people coming up. Got a dual interview coming up as well. Hopefully that lands. But super excited. I think y'all really like these new interviews. And just going to give you a little hint. OVW.